Fellas, say goodbye to Chuck Sherman the boy. I am now a man. I highly recommend you join the club. We are doing the wild thing all night.
Acid house music.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Sherm.
Sherman, I cooked all this food. Is that all you gonna eat?
General Sherman realized and understood the importance of house music.
So, do you know anything about techno?
No.
Listen.
Get it on.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another brand new episode of Sherm in the Booth. I'm, of course, your host, Sherm, and today is Wednesday, April 1st, 2020. This is episode 104. Hope everyone is doing well out there. I know it's a crazy time to be alive. The coronavirus is affecting everyone on a worldwide scale on many different levels, but it's so important that we stick together, we stay home, and we stay safe. And we gotta stay entertained, so you know I'm gonna be keeping it going with new episodes of Sherm in the Booth every single week. Today is no exception, and I'm really excited about this one, guys. Now, although, of course, I wish we could have done this in person, I'm so glad I still got to get this guy on the show for his Skype interview. Episode 104 features the one, the only, OSE. He is one of my favorite up-and-comers in Chicago. He is such a dope techno producer, and I love his music. He's an incredible live DJ, and he's one of the most humble guys that I've ever met. Now, the reason that I wanted to do this in person is because he really is such a character, but it ended up being a blessing in disguise because we got an inside look at his studio. And of course, he's got all the gadgets that every great techno producer needs. But it was such a blast to talk to him about his musical journey. He started off in rock and metal, and now he's making techno, but he still appreciates his roots. We covered the bases here, guys. How he makes his music, his inspirations for it, his new record label, 5150, shout out. You guys got to check it out. He's going to be doing some really cool things. Now, we also got a little deep in this one, guys, and I don't know if it was the whiskey talking, but I had a great conversation with Wade about what it was like to be insecure in high school, and then how he actually found his journey going into college, and then how he went to Icon Collective and really found his calling, making music. So without further ado, guys, let's get into it right now, episode 104 with OSE. How you been? What's going on?
My friend, how about you?
I've been good, man. I've been staying busy. Yeah, I got a day job in logistics, so it's pretty busy, man. Like a lot of fucking food and beverage customers. The trucks don't stop, you know?
Trucks don't stop, baby. Shout out to our fucking backbone of America.
Yeah, absolutely. The backbone of America, man. I love that. I wish we could have done this in person, man. I was just telling my roommate, he was like, who are you interviewing? And I was like, dude, I don't even know how to describe this guy because he's like such a unique guy, such a character. Like, it's okay. This is almost funnier, honestly. We are setting an example, like you said, right?
Yeah, we gotta show him what's up. And I mean, if you wanna make music, fucking get used to sitting in your room alone. Because you gotta do a lot of that.
I think you said it best, right? Your incubation's your middle name.
I said quarantine is my middle name, but it's Patrick. I lied. So sorry about that.
That's okay. I'll forgive you, man. I'll forgive you. Well, cheers, bro.
Cheers, my friend.
Nice. I've been drinking like almost every single night. I think every single night.
I can't drink. It makes me really depressed. Like, I really like alcohol. I like nice beer. I like good whiskey.
Yeah.
But it just is so miserable to be alone, fucking drunk. For me.
Yeah, that's true.
So I try to stay away from it. I'm more of a smoker. And that usually works better for me.
Yeah, I agree. That alone. Do you feel like you're more creative when you're high and you're producing?
Honestly,
because I don't know how these rappers and some of these producers do.
I think that's a cop out. You know, it's like I just made this track, and you know it's a good track, but I don't fucking like it because I made it.
Yep.
I think it's kind of like that. It's like this isn't me. This is the weed or the whatever drugs, alcohol, or whatever. It's not me. It's that. Which does it come from you? I don't know. It might
I
be
don't know.
like creativity might be coming from somewhere else, but I think that might be a little bit of a subtle cop out to saying that you make cool shit.
I like that. You
Yeah.
fucking. It didn't take long for me to like you because you're the type of person who wears their heart on their sleeve. And you know, I had heard so many good things about you. Max Quinones is a mutual friend of ours, of course.
Love him.
He told me this hilarious story about you at Bottle Blonde. I was like, wait, was it Bottle Blonde?
Exactly.
No offense, right? But
no
he
offense
was
at all. I
like,
know
yeah,
people they go there. Like, I'm sure we have a lot of mutual respects, and I'll kick it with them all day. But like, just like you can look at me, like I'm not really the type of guy that would go to Bottle Blonde. But to elaborate on the story, like he was playing whatever. He was playing Spy Bar after, so we were going to Spy Bar.
right.
And I had a really cool fucking trench coat, you know, very dark and ominous. And I get anxious, and I was just, you know, pacing around. I paced around my studio, my house, whatever, just looking weird. And I was like, oh fuck. And I went up to Max. I was like, dude, like, I feel like someone like might actually think that I'm gonna shoot up this place. Like I'm a fucking crazy. I look like an absolute crazy person, man. Like what is wrong with me? Oh my god! But hey, it's a cool trench coat, so fuck it, you know.
That's so funny. And he's like, no. It's just wait, bro. We're good.
Yeah, and I mean at Spy Bar, this motherfucker has a trench coat. That's cool as fuck. At Bottle Blonde, it's like, dude, this dude is up to no good.
Less than 2 blocks away from each other or something like that, right? And the world is completely different.
Yep, we walked there. I got lost a couple of times because I don't know. I have no sense of direction, and I had to walk to my car, and I don't know. But I know how to get to Spy Bar and leave Spy Bar and go to where I'm going. But you throw Bottle Blonde in there, or even Sound Bar, which is across the street. I don't know what's going on.
Have you ever thought, and this was probably back in the day for me when I first moved to Chicago, thought I was going to Sound Bar and ended up at Spy Bar. And honestly, it was the best mistake I ever made.
I mean, I have one of those that was not a good mistake. I walked out of Spy Bar a little bit under the influence.
Sure.
And I walked out to the other Bottle Blonde. I thought it was Bottle Blonde for the longest time across the street. Once again, no disrespect, but like all the lights fucking hit me in the face, and I was like, oh my god, where the fuck am I? And I was walking this girl to like an Uber, you know, and I was trying to go back in, and I guess I went back into Sound Bar, and these were two places that I've been to a million times. So I go back into Sound Bar, and I walk in there for like a second, really, and then I'm like, this makes me sound like a jerk. I'm like, oh my god, it's a big house, I gotta leave. So I walk out all disoriented again, and then I get back to my car, and I have no social security card, none of my like debit cards, credit cards, like ID, any passport, or I already lost my fucking ID before. I lost my passport and shit, and I was like, oh my god, like I'm just an enigma. Do I really exist?
Yeah, no, you don't.
Yeah, and so that was one of my mistakes. My mistakes are usually pretty not like hell yeah. It's like, whoa, I guess I should probably learn from this.
Yeah. Holy shit. Am I coming clear, or am I coming through clear, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're looking as handsome as ever, sure.
Really? Because I was supposed to get my hair cut yesterday, dude, and I get my hair cut every 2 weeks. And honestly, there's been a few things that have really made me feel like, wow, the corona's getting in my way. It wasn't even like, I got to work from home. It wasn't like, oh, like all gigs are canceled. It was like no samples at Costco, and I can't get my hair cut.
Damn.
It's fucking up my shit, man.
I think you look good. I actually was trying to get a haircut too. It would probably surprise most people. I do get haircuts.
Yeah.
But, I cut my own hair today a little tiny bit, cleaned it up a little bit, and shaved. A lot of the time I shave myself and I fuck it up and I have to shave all of it. But today it was pretty good, especially under pressure. If I have some like anything like this, where like I should probably look a little bit better, I'll just fuck it. I'm like, oh god, now I don't have facial hair, so I have nothing to cover my ugly.
I think you look good, dude. You look really good. And I know that's why I get my haircut every 2 weeks, because I'm afraid to shave my beard. I'm afraid I'm going to fuck it up.
Oh, you will fuck it up. 100%. No matter how many times you do it, you will fuck it up.
I will fuck it up. I know, you're right. Jesus Christ, dude. I am going to fuck it up. Well, thanks for the reassurance. I'm just going to grow it out. Like, honestly, whatever.
Dude, everyone's going to be on a level playing field after all this blows over. Everyone's going to be overweight like me, ugly like me. Like, I'm going to be thriving like I am right now. Like, I just sit in here and make music. Except, like I told you earlier, I don't like being told what to do.
Yeah.
So even though it's what I want and what I probably would be doing, I don't like being told what to do. So it's kind of like, oh my god. I think that's kind of how most people are right now. Like, everybody could be inside, but it's like, stay inside. I don't want to.
I know. I saw a meme, and it's like, coronavirus is not going on. People are like, oh, I'm going to stay inside this weekend. I'm going to, not do anything. And it's like, you can't go outside, and people are like freaking out. And it is. It's like an inverse world right now for people.
But hey, that shows you how important community is, and and hopefully this teaches people to care about your neighbor and check in on people. You know what? Fuck your neighbor. Like, just the people that you really love.
Yeah.
Like, check in on them once a month is good. I promise. You give people a call, like, and just say, hey, what's up? They'll really appreciate it, because not a lot of people do that.
I agree, man. I agree. I do my absolute best to do that as well, and just a little bit goes a long way. You're completely right.
As long as it's genuine, if you care about people, are we cheersing again? If you care about people, and like, if you just show what you're really about, even if you don't care about people, like, even if you're a dick, like, that could be good for whatever you're doing,
Yeah.
As long as you're true to yourself, there's going to be people that gravitate towards you. If you are a dick, it's probably not going to be the best people, but if you are a good person, like how I try to be, it's going to be people like you and Max and, all the awesome people from the Chicago scene that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yeah, man. I always love interviewing people who are from Chicago. You're from Chicago, right?
Yes, from the burbs, but...
From the burbs. Well, listen, I grew up in Indiana, so it's all the same to me, man. So you don't have to put on the whole facade like I'm not from Chicago. Everybody, you're from Chicago, baby. Like,
people get mad about it, It's way easier. It's way easier to say that, but people get butthurt about it. I still have the Chicago grit. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, you got the Chicago grit, but you also got that Midwest flair, that Midwest positive attitude. Like, you're so welcoming, you're so, like, supportive, bro, and I think that's a huge thing, right? Like, wearing your heart on your sleeve is honestly unfortunate that it's not so common anymore with people. I don't know if it's social media, I don't know if it's the world we live in today, but you are one of the most Midwestern, like, supportive guys that I know in the electronic scene. Like, top to bottom. You've been a fan of Sherman the Booth for a while, and I appreciate that.
Absolutely.
I
think that a bit of that probably comes from insecurity, because I've been insecure for a long time, and I was very mean and off-putting to people because of my insecurities and my problems, and it's hard to support people when you're not happy with yourself. So I think that to be able to really fuck with your shit and whoever else's shit, which is awesome stuff, you have to be okay with all of your flaws and shortcomings, and positives about yourself as well, you know?
Yeah, absolutely, man. And I mean, I said that because I wanted to ask where you're from, right? But like just these first few minutes here, it's pretty obvious to me you're a Chicago guy, right?
Yeah,
You
I like
feel
to hear that too, because I'm proud to be a part, whether I'm from fucking the middle of Chicago or from the burbs. I'm proud to be a part of this scene, and I'm really excited that a lot of the people have accepted me and show me a lot of love and see.
Yeah, man. I mean, I feel like, I've I've been doing the podcast for 3.5 years now or so, and I'd like to think I have a pretty good pulse in the local scene just from doing my own research, interviewing people and hearing about it. And I feel like you just like popped all of a sudden, man. You came out with like all this great music. Like I was on the Richie Houghton lineup, which we'll get into at Concord with Steve. And I was like, okay, who the fuck is this guy, right? And I like messaged Steve, and I was like, hey, who's this guy OSE? And he was like, oh, dude, this guy's like a sick techno producer. And I was like, oh, fuck yeah, dude. So I've like had like a close eye on you, but I just went back through, like I've listened to your music before, but I always like to do a day of. Like I went on a run today and I listened to your 30-minute mix. Like I'm such a big fan of your music, dude. Like such a big fan. It's like not your and I was with another one of our mutual friends, Christian. He's actually launching a new called Christos, and we were talking about you guys had sent music to each other, and he was like, "This guy's legit." And just listening back through everything, man, like you really got your sound. Do you remember like thinking to yourself, "I love techno"? Like, what was your first exposure to that type of music in general?
To be completely honest, I'm not entirely sure. Like, especially for the kind of techno that I make. I come from like a like heavy metal, hardcore background.
Okay.
So, a big artist from the beginning that was really going between like rock and electronic music was, like everybody else would say, Prodigy.
Yeah.
And that's probably the first recollection of like electronic music that I have that really interested me.
Yeah.
And the some techno stuff like Richie Houghton, like for some reason has always been on my radar. Like even if I wasn't really listening to techno, which for a lot of my life I wasn't.
Yeah.
He was always on my radar, but my interest really sprouted when dubstep started coming to the States.
Okay.
And I mean, one that I was really into because he was kind of like me, like which a lot of people are nowadays that are producers, like metalheads or whatever, which is really fucking weird. But
it's true.
Yeah, it was Big Chocolate. So like older, like I guess not older, but like when dubstep was coming to the States, is what got me interested, because I was like, what the fuck? Like I've been in the studio and I play guitars, I play basses or what drums, whatever. Like what the fuck is this, and why and how are they doing this? I don't understand it. I just don't.
Yeah.
And so I think that's probably what really got me into it. And then dubstep just got boring to me. Like, and I think it really is now very tired and boring, besides like certain people. Like, honestly, there's only a very select few, like Sudden Death and Sudden Death. Like, there's not that many people that are innovating. Like maybe Peekaboo. And like, I mean, guys from Chicago, even like we have so many awesome fucking producers. Like Glenn and the Spicy Boys, Melodic, Malachi, Vermilion. Like those guys are super sick, but like there's so many people that are just biting other people's styles, and that's not what dubstep is about. That's not what techno is about. That's not what electronic music is about. It's about like futurism and weird futuristic shit. I don't know, like that's
It's hard to put into words.
yeah, but like I feel like once you do it, you can put it into words, and then people can copy it, and then people do copy it. But that's not gonna make something that's gonna last.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with you because like when I went to college, it was 2011. It was the height of progressive and EDM, right? Like the classic EDM, the Aviciis, the Alessos, the Swedish. But also at the same time, trap was kind of making a big boom there. Like original Don Flosstradamus remix, like that was getting played at like colleges and stuff. And then that kind of tiered off a little bit, other than the guys that stayed at the top, right? And then dubstep and rhythm came in, and then it was big room at the same time too. But we both know, since we're so into it, house and techno, we're always kind of in the background, but never going down, right? Just like kind of like a bass fan falls off but still loves it, so they get into house and techno. A dubstep fan kind of falls off but still loves it and gets into house and techno. EDM like me, right?
You have to grow up sometime.
You have to, man. And I always say it's like you can't jump forever, you can't headbang forever, but you can two-step and fist bump, right? Like all fucking night.
I used to go to hardcore shows and get the fucking shit beaten out of me and beat the shit out of other people. You can't do that forever, or else you become a fucking straight edge kid that becomes an alcoholic because his dad was an alcoholic, and you were fucking beating the shit out of each other. Like you gotta think for yourself, whether it's in hardcore music or EDM. You have to think for your fucking self, and a lot of people don't think for themselves.
I agree, man. I agree. So you said you were in bands originally. Like what? How old were you when you first started playing music?
Playing music probably like anywhere between 5 and 8. I'm not sure. I started playing the drums. My cousins played drums, and one of them played guitar. So I guess that's probably how I got into it. But also, I mean, I was always fucking beating the shit out of pots and pans and stuff. Yeah, in school, like at parent-teachers conferences, they'd be like, "Oh, I mean, he's so sweet, but like, he's always tapping on the fucking desk. He won't fucking stop." And my mom would be like, "Just go up to him, put your hands on his hands. He'll stop. He knows what that means. Okay, just do that. It'll be good." But yeah, I mean, drums was my first instrument, and then guitar, bass, and now I'm still trying to properly become a very, very bad pianist.
Yeah.
But I guess music has probably always been in my life for what I can remember, whether it was hearing it or playing it.
Yeah, of course. Were you ever like into DJing, or like you obviously what's called producing, right? Like playing instruments. Did you get behind Ableton before you got behind CDJs?
CDJs definitely, because I'm still a very bad DJ in my opinion. But the way that I got into producing, like I said, I was really interested in dubstep and how they were doing it, and like what the fuck was happening, because it just like honestly now some of the stuff you hear, like, or at least the stuff that you are like, wow, this is cool, because a bunch of shit has been done before. You're like, what are they doing? Why did they do this? How did they come up with this?
Yeah.
But there's not a lot of that. I completely lost my fucking train of thought.
I mean, no, I was asking about, when you were in Ableton, and like, when was the transition to like?
Oh yeah. I started DJing on this little tiny piece of shit like M Audio. And
nice.
my computer, because I had speakers and I was going to people's parties and listening to their shitty fucking music, sitting by myself drinking. And I was like, hey, I could play my own shitty music and sit in the corner and drink by myself. Why don't I do that?
Right.
That's how I got into that. And then I always wanted to produce ever since I heard it, because, like I said, I was like, what is this? What is going on? But actually, the guys who were in the like heavy metal hardcore bands, who were always way older than me and were shit talkers, just like I am, would be like, "Oh, dude, that shit's fucking lame. Whatever, the fucking sucks." And I was way younger than them, so I was like, "Fuck, dude, that shit is lame." So I never really got into it until later when I started, playing the music at parties and stuff. Of
course.
And then I just really got into it hardcore because I was tired of going to those fucking parties with the same sad people, drinking the same shitty beer, and the same bad drugs that I told them wasn't Coke ever. So I kind of just went into quarantine mode like we're all in now, and fucking started doing something that actually mattered to me.
Absolutely, man. And I was thinking about you, and obviously we have a lot of friends who their main income is DJing, and they play all the different places, right? Like, and that's a tough road in and of itself. But I would say you're taking the road less traveled, obviously, right? Like the guy who is a producer, the guy who's building a brand, the guy who wants to get booked to play your music, right? Did you ever think like, oh, because like if you wanted to, you could become an open format DJ if you wanted to, right? But you obviously don't want to do that. Like, did you ever have like a thought in your head, oh, I don't want to be that type of DJ, but I do love this music. I got to think long term.
I don't think I ever really thought of being an open format DJ. I don't have anything against it.
Yeah.
But I've always just kind of, whether I was producing music on a computer or, engineering or playing the drums or guitar on a record, like I've always just been a musician. Like I like noise. Noise helps distract me from the annoying stuff that's going on in my head, and it helps so many other people too, and that's what I want to do with my noise.
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. It's your opportunity.
Yeah.
I like that, man. That's actually the fucking perfect answer for you. Seriously, like you're never gonna change who you are to make other people happy.
Oh no, and it's certainly made a few people angry.
Guess what? They weren't meant to be in your life anyway, bro.
Well, absolutely not. We got people like you, Shermy boy. All good.
Bro, I want to know, like,
horns up, baby. Let's go. The cool thing about the horns is, that's kind of Hail Satan, but this is I love you. So I like throwing up that.
Shit.
That's I love you, but it's also kind of like, fuck yeah, rock on.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
The more important part is the I love you, but the rock on, you gotta have a little bit of grit.
This is almost funnier doing it over Skype with you.
You look badass, but you're really saying, I love you. Which is, I think it's cool, but most people might say it's kind of lame. I don't know.
No, dude, I like rocking, bro. That's my thing. The guitar. I want to fucking rock and roll, man. I want to bring back the 80s. I want to bring back the late 70s. Like, everybody needs to be on that rock and roll attitude, right?
Dude, I mean, yeah, but it kind of sounds like you're telling everybody to do cocaine right now, to be honest.
Well, look, I just want everybody to act like it's time to rock and roll. It's time to fucking put things into play. It's time to make moves. Although it's a terrible time right now, considering I'm in my sweatpants. I was in a grout fit, actually, so can't really rock and roll.
It's a great time to think about not think about yourself, but like, think about yourself and pamper yourself and do whatever you have to do to make yourself better. Like, a lot of people don't have time to make themselves better because they're stuck at a shitty job in a shitty office where they have 2 hours of work that they have to spread out for 8 hours. So it's important to fucking take advantage of that 6 extra hours that you used to have to stretch out that 2 hours of working and just fucking work on what matters, and which is yourself.
Yeah, dude, absolutely. That's the rock and roll attitude, Wade. See, you're already living it.
Rock and roll, baby.
Dude, I want to know, you had a lot of, obviously inspirations growing up. who maybe were they when you were into, I guess death metal, and then nowadays as well, musically, personally, whatever it might be?
I got some hair in my mouth.
Happens all the time to you, right?
It does. It's awful. When it pictures me with the headphones on, like all my hair is like pushed up.
Yeah.
Well, I hate it. But early influences. I mean, my favorite band of all time. Well, in the like death metal uh, side would be Pig Destroyer. Like the music is just so disgusting and vile and heavy, but like the lyrics are so poetic, and you can't even understand what he's fucking saying. But like when you look up the lyrics, it paints the most. It's not beautiful, but a beautiful picture in the sense of that it's so vivid. It might be a little bit vulgar, but the pictures that he paints with his words are just so vivid. So that's, I mean, my all-time favorite. Agitator is one of my favorites, which is a straight edge hardcore band, which is kind of fun.
I see why you're friends with Steve Gerrard, bro.
Oh yeah, I mean, Steve. I met Steve because I was outside a soundbar, fucking really hammered. I was like, "Hey, dude, like some of the people that I know," and he was like, "Okay." I was like, "All right, dude, I'm gonna hit you up." And like now we have a track that like is
That's awesome.
eventually, I would like to think. But yeah, and like people like Tombs. I met him at Spring Awakening. I don't know how the fuck long ago, because I was just walking around alone, like I do. Like I just go to shit alone because I'm a fucking weirdo. And I had like a hardcore band shirt on. I think it was Expire. And Drew, who was Tombs, came up to me and he was like, "Dude, like, what's up with your shirt? Like, what the fuck are you doing here?" I was like, I don't know, man. I just like the music. I was like, "What's up with your fucking shirt, man?" Like, he had like a hardcore band on his shirt too, and he's like, "I don't know, man. I just like the fucking music." I was like, "All right, man. Like, cool." And it took us a while to actually be buddies, but now we're really good buddies, and I think that goes for something like just, which I wanted to mention in this, is to just go out and fucking meet people. If you don't have any friends, or you don't want to, or these friends don't want to come to the event with you, go out and fucking talk to people. You might need to put a couple drinks in you before you do it, but just go be friendly, and if you can, offer a helping hand. Be there for people. Like, it's so easy to progress if you're a good person, as long as it's real, as long as it's true.
Yeah, you got to be there, bro. I respect the shit out of you for doing that, man. Like, you got to go outside your comfort zone. That's how you progress in life. You live inside that, and you extend that zone over and over and over. I like that you said that. A lot of people, few people have said they'll go to things alone. That takes a lot of courage, man. I mean, what you opened up with, right? Like, you had a lot of insecurities. Yeah, you got to have a few drinks, just spark up a conversation, right? Like, that's like a industry guy's way of like picking up girls. Like, girls, it's like, oh man, I really
don't pick up any fucking girls, man.
Yeah, we don't pick up any girls. We talk like productions and like whatever it might be, right?
Yeah, I don't think girls are into fucking.
No.
So. No. It doesn't work too well for me.
Yeah, of course. Well, what about electronic music inspirations? You mentioned Richie Houghton, of course, too. Anybody else?
Richie Houghton, Big Chocolate. One that I would prefer not to mention in the realms of Excision, Big Chocolate, Skrillex.
Yeah.
And like just like weird fucking weirdos on synths back in the 70s and the 80s, like you said, like Prince Roger Nelson is one of my heroes. Rick James is one of my heroes.
That's awesome.
The Osbourne is one of my heroes.
Yeah.
And aside from, and I said Pig Destroyer is my favorite, one of my favorite bands. My other favorite band is Earth, Wind, and Fire. So like, I'm into,
Yeah.
and like, I'm 100% serious. Like I listen to this shit fucking all the time, and like that is like real dance music, like real dancing music, not dance music, dancing music. Like you have no fucking choice. Like if you hear fucking Super Freak at the wedding or whatever, you're gonna fucking dance because it's fucking Rick James.
Yeah.
You know, like that is real dance music. Like I love dancing to house and techno and fucking whatever electronic music, but
Yeah.
real dance music is like funk and disco, you know? For me.
Dancing music versus dance music.
Yeah, and I might have just started a whole debate here on your podcast. I don't know.
I love that. No, that music has soul, dude. Like something comes out of you that's uncontrollable. I couldn't agree more. Earth, Wind, and Fire, dude. Legends. Prince, legend.
Evolution Orange by Earth, Wind and Fire.
Yeah.
My favorite song of all time. 100%.
Is what?
Evolution Orange by Earth, Wind and
Fire. Dude. God damn. I
I'm
haven't
about
heard
to
that in
deep
so
cuts.
long.
Deep
Right
cuts.
after this is over, I'm blasting it.
Do it, man. Oh man, it's a good one. Rest in peace to Maurice. I never got to see him. It was a real bummer to me.
Rest
But,
in peace. I didn't realize I had such a big Fire band on here.
dude,
Awesome.
I'm a fucking weirdo. I swear to God. Like look up Pig Destroyer too. Look up Pig Destroyer and then look up Earth, Wind, and Fire and be like, why does he like both of these? This doesn't make any sense.
And then at the same time, I'll understand everything about you.
I don't know. I'm pretty weird. You met me a couple times. I don't think you'll understand it all because I don't fucking understand it all.
I think that's as close as we can get for right now at this point in life, then, right?
Yeah. It's okay to not know yourself as long as you're willing to learn about yourself. If you don't know yourself and you're like, and you push it away and don't want to learn other people's experiences and vices and problems, then you're not going to learn very much. You're just going to be stuck in your own little world, which it is your own little world. You can control what you want, but you also have to intersect with other people's world and make sure that they're doing okay as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I agree.
Out there thought. Sorry.
No, dude. That's why we do this, man. We're just talking, bro. I completely agree with you. I'm gonna listen to that song though. Well said. Great answer. Great inspirations. Pig Destroyer. I remember that. I went through a little. The screamo was a lot for me, but I did teeter totter on trying to understand it, and I respect it. I will say that I respect it. It is poetic, actually. It's crazy. You think that they're saying terrible things, and they're not.
I mean, music is noise. Noise is vibrations. Everything is vibrations. Either everything is music or nothing is music. You don't get to fucking decide what is music, you know?
Yeah. Well said, dude. You are a very well spoken guy, low key, for real.
Hey, sitting by yourself for extended periods of time tends to do that to you.
Now, speaking of sitting by yourself, you're in your awesome studio, which looks so dope, man. Like, what a great setup. How long have you had it like that? Like, I love the two lamps. You obviously have MIDI controllers. Is that your interface right there? What am I looking at?
The top is a interface. This is a microphone amp and a guitar tuner to our right. And then under that, we got the Xbox. You already know. And then patch bay. This is my swing mixer. And then a bunch of EQs.
Is that analog there too? That looks pretty dope.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff, man. We would have had you out here, but fucking.
I'm gonna come out, bro.
Corona.
I gotta do a tour in Naperville, bro. I gotta sub out there and see you. I gotta sub out there and see John Gorecki. All the fucking homies are in
I'm not in
Nasty Nate.
Naperville. I'm not in Naperville.
Where are you?
Tinley Park, which might as well be Naperville. And if it's not Chicago, it's Naperville, really, or Schaumburg.
Yeah. Okay. You're right. Well, I definitely got to come out there because that looks like a
This is
sick.
why I say, I'm not from Chicago. I'm from the burbs, because people get butthurt about it, and I can understand it. No, I'll throw down like I'm from Chicago. Let's get it.
Yeah. Well, when you're touring the world, you're not going to say you're from Tinley Park.
No, I'm not, because everyone's gonna be like,
What?
okay. But I do have a lot of pride from where I'm from, and especially where I went to school, which is Tinley Park High School, because like I didn't do a goddamn thing, but they knew that I was a good kid, so they like pushed me along. So
Yeah, absolutely, man. But I wanted to ask you, right? Like you, to me, like listening through your music, maybe for someone who's listening that doesn't fully understand techno, right? Like what would you define as your genre? If you could put it in a general umbrella and then maybe take a deeper dive into what it is.
Hypnotizing.
Yes. It is, dude. Your shit is hypnotizing. Do you hypnotize yourself when you produce?
I do, but a lot of other factors come into play. Let's just keep it at that.
Yeah. Dude, I mean, I ran through your catalog today. I already said I'm a big fan of your music. I'm going to say it again right now. I'm a big fan of your music. And I just feel like there's something different about what you're doing. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure you feel similar. Do you think you could put into words what you are doing differently, whether it be like on the back end or your inspirations, or, if you could put it into words?
I don't think there's really much to it besides I really enjoy it. Like,
Yeah.
The finished product for me is not so much for me. It's kind of for whoever wants to hear it, because I think a big part of making art is releasing that art to the world, because if it isn't released to the world, then it's kind of just a project that you did. It's not really art.
Yeah.
So I think to make the truest form of music in your mind's eye or mind's ear is to just have fun and get completely lost in it. Like, there's no better feeling than completely fucking blacking out because you just made a fucking beat for 7 hours and you're like, what the fuck is this? What is this? How did I make this? What is this? Like, there's no better feeling like that. And I have these problems, but there's a lot of people that will never fucking feel that high, and it's so much better than any drug that you could ever take,
Yeah. Dude, fucking great answer, because that is what's different, right? It's like how much you actually care about what you're putting into it.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of things that probably some of the best paintings, some of the best productions, some of the best whatever, right, are sitting under the table somewhere. And you've put out a lot of music. How many tracks have you released? 15?
Yeah, I think 15. I have 5 3-song EPs.
Right. And dude, a question that I'm going to bring up right now is your branding, right? Like, your Instagram is dope as fuck. Like, all of your photos, like everything, it's like it's all wrapped up into one thing. But when I go into it, there's so many things going on. Like, what do you do when you were like first getting things going? Were you like, I'm not going to release a single, I'm going to do an EP? And also, when I share things on Instagram and social media, like, you obviously are doing something, right? What was your thought process before you launched this brand?
It's all about keeping people's attention.
Yeah.
So however you can do that, whether it's with, funny vlogs or good music or cool Instagram posts, that's what you have to do. For me, the most cost-effective way, to be honest, is to do what I do with the 3 wide Instagram posts, because you said there's this image, and then you go into it, and it's a whole different thing, and you have a very heartfelt message from me because I care about that thing, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just painting a picture and making something that whoever the listener is proud to be a part of.
Yeah.
And excited to be a part of. And if they listen to this music and show a friend, they're going to be excited because they're going to say, I am 5150. Like, I fuck with this guy. I fuck with his label. I fuck with all this stuff because I feel good about it. I feel it's pure, you know?
Yeah. Yes, absolutely. And I don't know if you were thinking about this, but when I was listening through everything and looking through everything today, I feel like you're kind of writing a really long book. We don't know how long the book is, and maybe you're not finished yet, but you're releasing chapters at a time, like with these EPs, with these, posts you're making. Like, do you have like a long-term goal that's in mind and you're making short-term goals? Or you kind of just going with the flow?
I think it's important to go with the flow, but I also think it's important to try and plan how that flow goes.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you should always be writing daily, weekly, monthly, yearly, 5, 10, 20-year goals.
Yeah.
But the most important part of uh, goal setting is definitely the daily, weekly, monthly goals because that helps you get to those bigger goals. And I think that's something that most people don't focus on is the weekly, monthly goals. But those are the most important because it's really easy to say, I'm going to fucking release on this label or play this festival at this time, but it's a lot harder to say, I'm going to write a song every week until time. So I think that's the most important part, which is a really short answer, just being fucking real with yourself.
Yeah.
A fucking realistic goal is not to play EDC next month, you know? A realistic goal is to fucking make a lot of music and do a really cool concept with the art and release it and have a lot of people like it. And in 4 or 5 years, I'll play EDC or play whatever you want or release on whatever label you want or do whatever you want because you can fucking do it as long as you put in the work.
Absolutely, man. You have to hold yourself accountable. You have to manage realistic expectations and make tangible goals. There's so many people, like, it comes up almost every time, man. And that's why I love interviewing guys like yourself who are not only ambitious and have these goals, but are driven to make them happen. And you know that there are lots of little baby steps, 1-inch punches, whatever you want to say, that will take you to that big long-term goal. But it's important to understand how to get there.
Yeah, and perspective is everything. A baby step to me, or a baby step to fucking Fisher or Adam Byer or Green Velvet or whoever is fucking huge is mankind in my world.
Yeah.
So it's important to not compare yourself to others, whether it is someone as big as those guys or just someone who you're peers with. In comparing yourself, you should align yourself with those people and make friends out of them and help them do what they want to do so they can help you do what you want to do.
Dude, absolutely, man. Absolutely. I love that. Keep doing what you're doing, bro, because I see you making moves, and I really respect that. You're hustling, and I see that, and people see that too. So I'm excited to see what the future holds for you. Cheers to that. Mention 5150 Records. Tell us what that means, what it is, what we need to know.
Okay. This is going to be a long one, so I'm going to pour a little bit of Four Roses.
Nice.
And I would love the sponsorship. I would love the sponsors, guys. So, 5150 is a California law code that a person or persons is a danger to themselves or others. And at a point in my life before I went to Icon, for a lot of my life, I probably have, but really at that time when I was just so tired of seeing the same fucking miserable people at the same shitty bars, with the same cheap alcohol, I had to get away from it, and I found a way to get away from it into music and learning how to produce music. So along with the actual meaning of it, one of my favorite bands is Van Halen, and although I'm more of a David Lee Roth guy, 5150 is a great Van record, so that's part of where that came from, but mostly from the literal meaning of the basically you being a danger to yourselves. And I was just fucking miserable doing the same things every weekend. You know, everybody's working for the weekend at their shitty fucking jobs that they hate just to go spend a couple $100 at the bar. And I just got really tired of that. So I said, I'm not going to do this. I'm not going to drink. I'm going to sit and make music. And eventually I found Icon Collective, and I kind of just, in the middle of the night, fucking getting high, fucking doing whatever. I submitted an application with a song, and to my surprise, about 6 days before I had to leave Illinois, or not 6 days before, 6 days before I started class, they called me and said they have a in their winter class. And I was working at the time, and they called me and said this, and I was like, yeah, no, like like I'm in fucking Illinois right now. That's 2,400 miles. No. And I talked to my mom later in the week or something, or in the day or whatever, and she was like, oh, cool, so like, what'd you say? And I was like, no, fuck no. And she's like, well, why would you wait? And I was like, well, fuck, that's a good question, because it was either that winter's or the fall semester or the winter semester. It's like, why wait 3 months? Just because you're prepared, why fucking wait? And that kind of comes full circle to 5150, is that, like, I mean, people aren't signing my records. I'm like, why fucking wait? What is gonna happen? I don't play that many gigs. I don't do whatever that I could do to fucking promote myself. So I have to put out music.
Yeah.
So why fucking wait? You got to put out music. You got to build yourself that way. Make cool fucking album covers. Do visuals when you can make it happen and afford it. And just fucking do it. Why wait?
I love that, man. And so, have you released music on this? Like, I know, like, I saw Nick Nice was involved with this. Like, what's the long-term plans with it?
Woo! I forgot that this was straight whiskey and not a whiskey coke. Oh my god! It's like drinking fucking. Oh my god! Okay, cool.
You okay?
What?
Okay.
What did you just say? Whiskey is hitting me hard. I'm going crazy.
Jesus. I said, what did I even say? You're distracting me. I saw you were going to do an event. Obviously, you had to cancel it, unfortunately, but Nick Nice is involved. Like, what's the long-term plans with the label? Like, is it going to be music you release, of course? Like, is it going to be techno? Is it going to be anything?
It's going to be mostly house and techno, but that's really not the point. The point is just to have a platform myself where I can express myself in a little bit more of a different way. 5150 is supposed to be a little bit more like accepting. Like OSE is a little bit darker, but I want 5150 to be a little bit more chilled out for a lack of a better term.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's music I release, and eventually I want to release other people's music as well. But at this time, like I don't want to take someone's beautiful piece of art and take it for granted because I don't have the platform to really promote that person's music for now.
Right.
Once I have that platform, I would love to do that. But at this point, I feel like it'd just be kind of thrown in the trash.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that, man. Like, it's a label without limits. You're accepting of anybody who wants to put their art out there. That's beautiful. Seriously. Good for
Thank
you. Anybody who watches this and listens, 5150, bro. Branding's on point, too, of course. The T-shirts you sent me today? Those are T-shirts, right? Dude.
Yeah, that's something that I've been doing a little bit more of is designing for the like spring summer collection for 5150.
It's sick. I love that type of shit. Like, sign me up. You let me know when those are live because I want one. So dope.
I don't know if I should say this on the podcast. I'm gonna get a little care package, okay? But everybody, you still gotta pay. I'm sorry.
I'm gonna send you a care package too. I just got shirts in as well. Look at us both making moves.
You got to. You got to.
You got to, bro. You got to. Cheers to 5150. Did you put Coke in there yet?
No, I don't have any, man. I'm drinking this shit. You can hear me slur my words a little bit there, so that was cool.
That's
Making
okay.
a fool
The connection broke out. You're clean. You're clean, bro. Now, wait, I want to ask you, and I don't agree with this, but you said you're not a good DJ. I would like to wholeheartedly disagree. When I saw you DJ Spy Bar right before me, fucking dope. I had seen you another time before, and I heard you played a 6 set at Concord with Richie Houghton. So, dude, you're getting great opportunities. And also, shout out to Isaiah. I know he's going to watch this. He's a big fan of you, too.
He's my family, straight up.
Dude, he's such a good guy, man. I got a lot of love for him. He's really like in touch with the scene, works hard. He's a very unique guy. I fucking love his hustle. He's
man, that motherfucker, he's in touch with the scene, but he can't return my goddamn text. That motherfucker. He ain't in touch with me, I'll tell you that right now.
Okay, yeah, maybe not in touch with people via communication, texts and emails, but
he is a crusader for the local scene. Concord, the talent that they have come through, but even just the bricks that have been laid there, like the venue and the people that work there are just so special. So to the opportunity like you have or I have or whoever has to play there is just amazing because everything from the ownership to the fucking people that clean the bathrooms are just amazing, beautiful people. And like you could if the security and like the bar staff and whatever, if all the people that worked at the Concord were at show there and nobody else, like no fans were there, it would be the best show ever. Like they're just such good people.
I completely agree. Just from the fucking lighting man to the stage man, or guys like, dude, you're like the first people I donated this whole thing. I was like, $100, Concord, fucking. I mean, they've given me so many great opportunities. Anyway, I got sidetracked because Isaiah's the fucking man. Damn it, Isaiah. Why'd you have to be so cool? I want to ask you, like, when you DJ live, especially your type of music, what goes through your head, like, with preparation into a set, especially maybe let's talk about the Richie Houghton example specifically, right? Like, what do you do to prep? How much of your own music are you playing? What's the message you're trying to send to the people there?
For the Richie Houghton show, I didn't really have that much music that I could use because I was opening up, and a lot of the music that I have is just like really straight hard techno. Part of what I was going through my head during that was just to be respectful, but also to not compromise at all, you know, because you can listen to the set on Mixcloud. Like, I don't necessarily think it was an opening set, but if you saw a festival set or like something where it was no holds bar OSE,
Yeah.
like, it would definitely be a little bit different.
Right.
So I think something that you should think about is being respectful, but also being 100% and not compromising yourself at all, no matter who the DJ is or whatever, you know. And that means like, if like my music is pretty aggressive, so like if I'm playing for not as aggressive, if I play my music too fucking bad, it's my music. But if you play like, you know, if you play like a fish track, which is not necessarily as hard, but I'm saying like, you shouldn't play that as a fucking opening DJ. Like,
Yeah.
that's different. But if I'm Fisher and I'm the opening DJ, because it's my fucking song.
Right.
So I think as long as you are using material that nobody else can use, you can do your thing. But if you're just there to get people in to the night, which I was there for, but I mean, yeah, I've now that I'm thinking about it, I guess I feel kind of stupid because being respectful is very important. But I do feel like if it's my fucking music, I came here to play my music, whether it was to warm people up or to play the headline set. If it's my music, it's my music. I can play it no matter how hard it is. So I think that as long as you're playing a lot, as much original music as you can, which I didn't in my Richie Houghton set because the shit was like too hard. It was like straight fucking acid, like resonance all the way turned up, fucking just like annoying hard techno. I one original that was pretty good, but just knowing your crowd, knowing your library, knowing you are going to follow or be before.
Yeah.
Just thinking about the audience, because it's not always about you, you know? Like, I want to be there to play my music, but I need to be able to play my music in the correct order that makes the audience happy, because it's not about me. I might be playing my music, but it's not about me. It's about the audience.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I love that. And, you know, it's great because I don't think you ever have seen yourself like, you're going to get opportunities where you're going to be the opener, obviously, over the next few years, but you're envisioning yourself as a headliner, someone who plays music that either A is like, you're going to know it's OSE music, right? But I love that, actually. I love that answer, man. Like, looking at the crowd, too, thinking about their perspective. You've been to a lot of shows, right? And I think we can tell the difference between who's a good DJ, a bad DJ, whatever, right? So I see your perspective.
Absolutely. That's actually, I could pivot into a bit of a funny story from when we played together at the Spy Bar.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you're playing, no matter how good or bad your set is, there's always going to be some people saying, "Sure, good fucking set. Oh, sick. Fucking set. That was fucking sick." And when they say that, you're like, oh my God, no, it wasn't. It makes you feel even worse. But, like, really, you played it fucking sick. But, Spy Bar, a friend of ours, and since I don't want anyone to take it the wrong way, I'm not going to say their name. I got off and I was talking to someone, she said whatever. And then this person, he was like, "Dude." And I was like, "Dude, how was it?" And he was like, "That fucking sucked, dude." Like, oh, man, he's right. He's so right. And he was like, you know, like, dude, the track selection was really good. Like, and if the track selection wasn't really good, I would have put someone else on, because like your mixing was just so bad. And I was like, okay, like I need, like, a lot of people will be like, "Dude, what? What do you fucking mean?" Like, No, like I fucked up and I know that I fucked up, so this means a lot to me and I fucking love it. Like this is way better than anyone telling me I played the greatest ever. You know, I respect the person that tells me I fucking was awful a lot more than the person that tells me I had the best set of the night. You know?
Yeah, yeah. People aren't honest enough, I would say, to a certain extent too. So whoever that was, maybe cheers to them as well. But I
Oh,
thought you played
absolutely.
good.
I mean, I know it's because like he is a friend and I looked up to, and he was like, "Hey, man," I'm like, "That fucking sucked." Like if it was someone that I didn't respect, it would probably be a little bit different. But at the same time, I think it sucks. So who knows?
Definitely. I love that, Wade. Now I want to loop back to something you talked about in the beginning, and if you're open to maybe talking about it a little more, it was, obviously your insecurities growing up. Do you think that's been one of the biggest obstacles you've had to overcome as a producer, as growing into who you are today? And, tell us more about it.
I mean, I've always been fat and ugly, so that I mean, I take that with a grain of salt. It's a funny thing, you know. So that's something that's always been a factor. It's really easy to make fun of the black kid or the Mexican kid or the fat kid because it sticks out, especially when we were younger.
Yeah.
So something that I really struggled with, but I found solace in music during that. And I mean, as much as it sucked, there's still a lot of things, you know. Hopefully, people have their families around them and friends and things like that. But when you're going through a tough time, it's really hard to notice that stuff, but it's really easy to escape it if you have something like music. And very easily, music could be replaced with alcohol or drug abuse or sex addiction, you know? So it's very good to have something like music. Um,
Yeah,
and,
absolutely.
I don't know. I think that when I was, when I'm making music or when people look at OSE, they probably won't necessarily see my picture first. You know, they'll see like the like 3D like lady that I put in a lot of my signs, and like they won't think about me. So I think that's a bit of a lesson. Is that like you can it's like, that mouse or marshmallow, whatever, like that mask doesn't come from a, a branding stunt unless you're marshmallow. Sorry. But like that comes from insecurities. So in a very weird adverse way, um, putting that mask on is like honoring your insecurities and like putting them forward and like being normal, which is very important to growing, I think. So I kind of put that in my music. Like a lot of my music is about necessarily in OSE because it's kind of about having fun and partying. But in a lot of my other music, it's about being miserable and fucking depressed and sad. So being vulnerable
Yeah.
is really a good way to overcome your insecurities and realize that your insecurities are really the same as everybody else's, even though they're disguised a little bit differently.
Yeah. Absolutely, man. And you brought it up in one way or another about, before you jump to go to Icon. I think everybody kind of has. I had a similar feeling, when I was in college. It was like I'm doing everything that everybody else is doing. Like I didn't have any other very few friends with electronic music. I had no DJ friends except a few, right? And especially when I got in a house in techno, a lot of friends I grew up with don't love it as much, right? And I realized when I was growing up that like I was kind of selling myself short, not doing all the things that I fully wanted to do. Growing up in Indiana, man, like it's like you said, it's like it's very stereotypical, right? And yeah, I might be a white guy from Indiana who's fucking half Jewish, right? Like, as stereotypical as that might be, it's not also who I am all the way. Right? It's part of my personality, but I couldn't relate more with you on that, man. And I love that answer because everybody has their own battles to overcome. Everybody has their own vices that they deal with, and everybody guises their insecurities in a different way. And you said that perfectly. So I feel you, bro. I really do.
Absolutely. Which is why it's very important to fucking care about your neighbors and care about the people that you really love, because whether you can see it or not, whether they are your caregiver or not, they're their own. They need their own help. They need their own caregiver.
Absolutely, man. A little bit goes a long way. That's like the motto of this interview, bro.
Well, I mean, that's a fucking great motto to have, especially without springing it on people intentionally, you know, like just kind of letting it breathe.
Absolutely. Give them a That's it. Wait, I want to ask you the last question, bro. You've been making a lot of moves. We got some more music coming. What's up for the rest of 2020 with you?
Definitely a lot of music. Hoping to get it released on some other labels other than 5150.
Okay.
Hopefully, in between that, I can get some more traction with 5150 and be able to promote other people's music through it, rather than just throwing it in the garbage because I don't have the audience to share it with. Lots of cool clothes from 50/50 events once we can get back to giving each other hugs and kisses. And just keeping this going, keeping the same hardcore ethics of techno that people didn't even know were there. Peace and love and acceptance and just being a family and just listening to good fucking music.
More Earth, Wind.
Oh, lots of Earth, Wind, and Fire. All of the fucking Earth, Wind, and Fire, man.
Dude, do you have a favorite track that you've made personally?
I guess probably just the whole laser focus EP that I just put out and that I'm still proud of. As a producer, it's kind of, or a musician or artist in general, it's kind of hard to stand behind your product once you put it out because you're just like, oh my god, I'm this and that. But these tracks are probably the first tracks that I put out that I can still listen to and enjoy. And I think really setting me off into a really good direction of quality control.
Love that, man. For accepting, it's super different when you get feedback from other people and you finally put it out there. But you did it, man. And that's more than what most people can say. So props to you, brother.
Thank you, my friend. I appreciate it. Props. Like I texted you once I saw the fucking whatever, you know what it's fucking called, interview, and I was like, man, like he's good on fucking camera, but he's like a fucking public speaker now too. This is crazy.
the panel verified, yeah.
You're about to be a politician. I'm about to hate you real soon.
I'm not gonna be a politician.
All right, you better not because I love it. But if that happens, oh man.
I'd rather talk about things I like.
Good.
Talking's easy for me because I'm always talking to people who are fucking fun and chasing me, bro. It's amazing for me. So, dude, cheers to you, bro. I enjoyed this so much. I can't wait to hang out with you soon.
Yeah, you're gonna have to come through.
I promise. Can we do this?
Do you promise, dude?
All right.
And then we do an I love you.
I love you, Wade. You're a fucking man, bro. Thanks for making the time and happy quarantining.
Happy quarantine, buddy. Love you and care about you. Let me know if you need anything.
Sounds good, buddy. You're a man.
Later, baby. Bye.